back to Swift Code Factory, and this video is about second part of AudioKit in our native iOS app. In my previous video, I have shown how we can implement AudioKit in iOS app with a basic coding, and this is a second part, and I would like to show about how to add AutoPan in our app. So in my previous part, I have given how we can play this audio engine by using the AudioKit, and this is the second part. I would like to add about the few playgrounds, and this is the audio URL as you can see here, and I'd like to add some effects into our iOS app. So I'm clicking here effect, and as you can see here, if you scroll down, you can see here auto graphic equalizer and all those stuffs. So I'm gonna select auto pan operation over here, and then let's see the document about how to implement in our iOS app. So I have taken my Xcode. This is my first build, and here I'm going to add a new button in order to call the next screen. So I'm gonna add a for button. If you haven't seen my first part, just I have given in the description about the first part as well. Just go through the first part and then come to the second part so that you can follow up the project actually. So I'm gonna here add a new button, and why I'm adding a button over here is I'm going to make a new screen in order to call the pan operation. So I have added a new button over here, and I'm gonna call a new view controller as well. Alright, and by just clicking on my power button, I'm gonna drag it over here and show the second view controller. And from Xcode, I'm going to make a new file, and I'm going to name the file as AutoPan BZ view controller. Alright, click next and create the file. Now let's give the storyboard class as well. So I'm clicking in the view controller which I have opened now, and setting a class over here which is of AutoPan BZ. Alright, that's it. And then we will go over here in AutoPan BZ and clear all the stuffs which we don't require, and then we will go to our playgrounds, and let's see the document what they have given over here. So these are the effects in order to call for the speed and depth for the AutoPan operation. And first is first, let me copy this file as it is under the play, and I'm going back to the Xcode, and I'm going to just place it over here. The same effect, this import audio UI, and this as well. So I'm going to change the class name here from UI view controller to AK view controller, and then I'm going to add auto and see. Then I'm gonna call the extension as well in my Xcode version. As you can see, there are a lot of errors already before the implementing itself. And I'm gonna import AudioKit as well in my Xcode. You may find some difficult work because I'm doing it quicker. I will give you what are the things which you need to change after this and all. Alright, So that's the AudioKit implementation, and I'm going to lastly import this AudioKit UI as well. Just don't worry if you didn't follow all these codes. I just want to show you what are the common errors which we could face when we start this audio player. So mixloop.mav. So this is the basic code. When we copy the document file and when we paste it in our Xcode, these are the errors which commonly comes. Error throws are not handled. Error throws are not handled. So in order to make sure that we are having the proper code and all the errors are handled, I have written a separate code for this. If we didn't follow as and if we didn't copy this all codes and just paste, just leave it. You don't need to. I will show the exact file which you need to come through. So I have given in the description about this source URL, and this is in my GitHub repository. So in my GitHub repository you can see that as AudioKit for demo. Open that, and as you can see this AutoPan vc.zip file. So this code is I have rewrite this code in order to clear all the errors, and I gonna call this pan auto add function call into our iOS app. First is first, let's start with this. So var player ak player var file ak audio player. So I'm going to click here and import these two files, var player and var file as ak audio file, and then I'm going to call this function add pan UI. This function I have written separately in order to call this AutoPan, and just copy it. I'm going to remove all the stuffs we have shown before. I'm going to add here AutoPan operation, and then as you can see at the end I have written extension for this AK operation effect. This you can call at the end as a AK operation effect over here. This is the extension for the new value which we given in speed and depth, and this is about the player which we are using AK player and AK audio file. Then what we are doing is have called the file which is called mixloop.mav, which I have already implemented over here in the first part itself. So, and at last in my widget load, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this pan UI, and that's it. And what the things which is going inside this function is, first of all, it's checking whether to the file which is reading this file mixloop.mav, and it's showing if it's not read, they will show that file not found, and then they're initializing the file and the player loop. We're gonna set it as true, and then we are going to add the effect with the oscillator. At last we are going to start the player, and this is all about UI, which is called AudioKit UI, which we are adding the title, which we are adding the view with mixloop.mav, we are adding the property with speed, and we are adding the property with depth as well. And the last thing is I have in my previous part I have given this audio engine.zip file. I have set the speed index and depth index, so make sure that you have this as well in this project. So let's run the project and see what we have done so far. If you feel something confusing means, just leave it, just go through this GitHub repository, add this file into your new project, and then we can find the exact solution. Okay, let's run the project and check what we have done so far. So this is my first part which I have done in my previous video about the play engine. Is the basic about AudioKit. And right now in this part we have set a button over here that's called next button. We will go to the next VZ, which is of our AutoPan VZ. So next, click next, and we can see here these are the things which we have implemented right now. And then we will click a play button over here, and we can see speed and depth oscillator, which means a slider as well. So let's play. Okay, so we shall be increase the speed of this audio player, and we will check. Yeah, that's it. This part is about AutoPan and how we can increase the speed and depth into our native iOS app, and this is about the field or playgrounds which the document have mentioned, and this is about AutoPan operation with playgrounds. In the next part, I would like to show about the more effects, like which is called filter effects and other stuffs if required. So that's all in this video tutorial, and if you like this part, you can comment over here, and if you find any difficulty while doing this, just comment it over here, or else if you find any difficulty to understand this part, just go to my description and read all the stuffs, and you can use the GitHub repository as well in order to make it clear. Okay, that's all. Thanks for watching this video tutorial. Thanks.